This is the series of spot welds that I'm drilling out to separate the core support from the rest of the body. Put a tiny little pilot hole, and then I use this bit to drill a hole in the part that I'm removing and leaving the plug in the part that remains that can be ground flush, and the new part can be plug welded onto the body structure. So today is day 11. Most of my parts have arrived, and I have gotten the core support, the original bent up core support, removed from the vehicle. I had to go through a lot of drilling spot welds. We'll need to grind those flush to prepare the new one being mounted. This side looks relatively straight. The challenge is to make this side look as good. So I will be doing some heating of that metal, pounding. I've got a torch, I've got some hammer and dollies. So I'll spend the rest of today trying to straighten that out so I can fit up the new core support. So we're on day 12 of my 21-day plan to have this thing back on the road. We got this core support and bumper installed, put the hood on, checked alignment, and we were not square. A few of the indicators that told me it's not square is that the hood latch did not land on the latch properly. Other indicator was this wing of the core support is hanging over on the passenger side about 3/8 of an inch, and on the driver's side it's in about the same. Determined a center line from side to side, and roughly I picked this spot right here as a center line of the vehicle, and then went down to the frame, determined this is a center line of, or this is a center line of the vehicle, and based on that, what I got was this should be the center line, but we have it over here. Again, about 3/8, quarter inch to half inch, depending on where you measure from, off. Then, to further verify it, I took the reference points of the body, that hole right there, and that hole right there, and did a diagonal measurement from there to here, and from there to here. Again, it's off about 3/8 of an inch. So what we're going to try to do is give this a tug and see if we can get the whole assembly, bumper and core support frame, see if we can pull it over at least a quarter of an inch, if not 3/8 of an inch. We're gonna hook that up using this chain and cable come along process. I'm gonna use the anchor as the hitch of my truck. I'm gonna put the truck over on the side, pull this Honda forward a bit so I can get a angle to pull it that direction, and keep my fingers crossed that we can get it to go. When I know it fits, then I will go along the points where it needs to be welded. I'm using plug weld method on all the points that are needed to integrate this core support to the body. I'm going to drill a hole and use the plug weld technique to weld it to the body. Down there, up here, anywhere else that is necessary. There on both sides. You can see where I was trying to drill out the original spot welds. I'll use this hole and fill that with weld to bond those anywhere that I can get a weld in. Okay, it's day 18. The core support is in place and square and painted. The bumper is on. Everything is level. When the hood comes down, one of the critical points was the alignment. And that's right on. Bumpers are going to hit right on. So I'm happy with the way the hood comes down, square, level in the front. One of the fussy parts was over here to make sure that this wing came out the same distance as the other side. First indication was that it was over about 3/8 of an inch to the passenger side, so I had to do a little persuasion over here to get it over. You'll notice I've got the alternator and belt on. I've got the new motor mount on. Turns out it wasn't just the anti-vibration bushing, I suppose you could call it. The cast piece was actually broken as well, which included this isolator. So that was another $70. I had to order that. So here's what I was talking about on this side. Left to right is good, but up and down is like 1/2 inch off, and I can't resolve it because everything I measured as far as from the ground to this point, the ground to this point, to this point, everything on this side is exactly the same as that side. So I think that's the best I can do. I'm gonna start doing the spot welds to get that in place. I think what I'm gonna do is use some sheet metal screws to hold it in place and then come back and do those plug welds in all the spots that need it. And then take those sheet metal screws out or leave them, and then that should be that. I can start assembling the front end.